Chúng tôi đến Mộc Lan vào những ngày đầu tháng 10 năm 2024. Rất may mắn, chúng tôi gặp được khóa tu an cư dành cho người nước ngoài tại đây. Trong số những thiền sinh về Mộc Lan lần này, tôi ấn tượng với một phụ nữ lớn tuổi nhưng nhanh nhẹn, luôn mỉm cười và có mặt ở trong hầu hết các thời khóa chấp tác của các nhóm. Tôi đã nhờ được quý sư cô hẹn hò để có buổi trò chuyện với bà. Bà là Wilda Baker. Bà sinh ra tại Guatemala. Bà đến Mỹ vào năm 17 tuổi và sống tại Mỹ, tiểu bang Atlanta 51 năm.
My name is Wilda Baker. I was born in Guatemala City, Guatemala. As a child, as a young child, I thought everybody spoke Spanish. There was one language. But then I realized there were many languages, especially English. At 17 years old, I came to this country to study, to college. And like many people, stay here. So I've been living here for 51 years. And I adjusted to the American lifestyle, the expectations. And it's been later in my life that I learned about Thinh Nhat Hanh when I came to a retreat to Magnolia. And that has enriched my life very much.
Bà là một phụ nữ đẹp. Khi đến Mỹ để học và sinh sống, tuy bà không chia sẻ chi tiết những nỗi khổ niềm đau của bà, nhưng sự khác biệt về văn hóa và kỳ thị của xã hội Mỹ đối với một cô gái đẹp, nhút nhát, sống khép kín như bà, chắc chắn cuộc đời bà đã trải qua nhiều đau khổ, tổn thương.
Yeah, I retired at 67. I was a calm child. I didn't give trouble to my family, but I just didn't follow the religious. I was rebellious on that. I was raised Catholic in Guatemala, but there was always a struggle inside me. I have liberated myself recently with this. I used to be very shy. I would be behind a cloud. I will not put myself up front.
Thật bất ngờ khi bà lấy từ trong túi xách nhỏ của mình ra một cái túi zip nhỏ. Trong túi zip nhỏ, bà nâng niu, thận trọng, mở và lấy ra một tờ giấy nhỏ với những dòng chữ chép tay của bà, nâng lên như một báu vật để chia sẻ cùng chúng tôi hành trình bà tìm thấy ngọn đuốc sáng để vượt thoát hầm tối khổ đau, để bà có được hạnh phúc trong cuộc sống hiện nay ra sao.
I have several copies because I lose them. And they're in the computer and I have that one in my car. So when I went walking in the parks in the mornings, that was in the car. I have one in my purse. So everywhere in different purses, I have copies. I have several. And so this is an old version. I know I have because there's a sentence here that it's not ties. There's one here that is not ties. It was my interpretation. And I corrected it when I heard the recording again. And
Đó chính là những câu hướng dẫn thực tập chánh niệm và tĩnh lặng của thầy Nhất Hạnh mà bà đã dày công chuyển từ bài pháp thoại trên YouTube sang chữ viết trên bản Word để bà nghiền ngẫm từng câu, từng chữ trong suốt 18 tháng.
This is what keeps me at peace and mindful. this is what reminds me to get back to myself when I get human and explode. And I need to bring myself back to stillness. Thay's words, Thay's philosophy. My path, my journey.
First of all, you breathe in mindfully, and you become aware that you have a body. Breathing in, I know I have a body. The body is a very important part of yourself. You spend 2 hours with your computer. You are stressful, and you don't know how to stop. And you forget completely that you have a body during these 2 hours. You are looking for something in the future, in your work, why your body suffers. So the first act of love is to breathe in and to go home to your body. Breathing in, I know I have a body. Hello, body. I'm home. I take care of you. So to be aware of body is to the beginning of love. And when mind is home to body, mind and body are established in the here and the now. And you might notice two things with the practice of mindful breathing. The first thing you notice is that your body is a wonder. You have to rediscover that your body is a wonder.
We all suffer. I'm very aware. I was a child when the war in Vietnam. I was in Mobile, Alabama, when Vietnamese were coming to this country. I was very young. I was in college, just had come to this country. And I remember the Vietnamese coming. And now I think how everybody, because I think of the native people that lived in this country before the Europeans came. In Guatemala, there were the Indian Mayas, also before the Spaniards came, in South America. So they were mindful. Those cultures that were here before the Western came here were very mindful, but that got lost along the line, along the journey. And so if we can go back to be mindful in these lands, and it's being done by the practice in the way Thay just make sure that he wrote, and how his charisma to silence people. When you see his videos, he just smiles, take his time, and everybody quiets down to listen to his message, because he had that in him, and still the videos carry that.
Ban đầu cái năng lượng của cái sự giận hờn, của sự bực tức nó trào lên, đó là đứa con nó đang đau khổ, đó chính là mình cũng có thể đàn áp được, tại vì đàn áp nó tức là bạo động, tức là mình đàn áp chính mình. tại vì nó thuộc về mình và nó phát xuất từ cái đáy lòng mình, từ cái tiềm thức của mình, từ cái vô thức của mình, nói theo Phật giáo từ cái tàng thức của mình hay là a la gia thức của mình. Thì khi mà nó lên thì mình phải có cái năng lượng thứ hai, và năng lượng thứ hai này là năng chánh niệm, mindfulness hay là plein conscience. Cái năng lượng thứ hai này mình chế tác bằng hơi thở ý thức hoặc bước chân ý thức. Mà nếu là mình thực tập hơi thở và bước chân ý thức mỗi ngày thì mỗi khi mình trở về với hơi thở, trở về với bước chân thì tự nhiên cái năng lượng đó nó được chế tác một cách rất là mau chóng, rất là dễ dàng. Với cái năng lượng chánh niệm đó, mình nhận diện được cái năng lượng của sự giận hờn, sự bực tức, mình ôm lấy nó một cách rất là dịu dàng.
In my journey to know more, I came upon one of Ty's YouTube recordings about mindfulness. I could tell it was very powerful message, but it was very hard for me to follow because it was only the audio. And I couldn't understand it, but I knew it was powerful. And so I started to listen that, and I will use in the computer the part that they transcribe to English. You know, it was in English, but the words. So I copy everything, and every day I will listen a little bit, but it was still very hard for me to understand what he was saying. And so I did that for about 18 months, the same video. Because I would do 2 or 3 sentences a day. It was very hard for me to understand. And I would finish it, and then when I would listen it again, putting it together like a puzzle looking, I realized something didn't match, so I would redo that, and it would make more sense. And each time, it would make more sense. And it was, I did that in part while COVID was going on, and there was a lock-in. I was in Guatemala, and they locked the whole country. So that's what I would do. In Guatemala, I will walk in the house I was, but I was not in the house. I was at Magnolia Grove every morning. I was walking in Guatemala physically, but my mind was in Magnolia, and I was reading that. And they will ask, how are you doing with COVID? Oh, it's wonderful. Because I was taking things slowly and mindfully. In the end, I wrote a cheat sheet. From that 18 months, this is my cheat sheet. And so, I have several copies, and I keep them in my purse. And so, for a long time, my meditation was to go breathe in, breathe out, and do each one of these.
Bà nói bà thay đổi tờ giấy đó theo từng giai đoạn thực tập của cá nhân bà. Ban đầu, bà chép đúng nguyên văn, từng lời của thiền sư. Sau 3 tháng hoặc sau thời gian thực tập mà bà vỡ ra những điều thực chứng, trải nghiệm của bà lại viết lại rõ nghĩa hơn, chi tiết hơn. Mỗi lần bà viết một khác, sâu sắc hơn, rồi photo ra nhiều bản để ở khắp nơi trong xe, trong túi, trên bàn, trên giường và gửi tặng cho các bạn bè của mình.
Because I am a visual person, not an audio person, I have to see everything in writing. And it helps me to color and highlight each concept. Because at the beginning I couldn't understand, and they say, oh, my understanding was wrong. It needs to be revised. But I'll be happy to share the link of the video and in English where I am, the translation. And maybe when you read it, you say, oh no, that's not what he said. So that would be nice if it needs a correction for me to. But I would be very happy to also share the different images I have. And all of them are with a phrase that Thai has said. The pictures with Thai, somebody artistically, I don't know, somebody did the work. I just copy them and use them because I'm visual.
Tôi có cảm nhận ở bà khi thực tập chánh niệm theo bài pháp của thiền sư Thích Nhất Hạnh, giống một người làm vườn mỗi ngày, cày cuốc sâu hơn một ít và lượm nhặt thêm nhiều kim cương châu báu mỗi khi đào xới.
I became involved in 2 sanghas in Atlanta. One with Carol Johnson, very wise woman, and the other one with Al Lingo, 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 6:30 in the morning for 30 minutes for people that were going to work and they needed that mindfulness before going to work. And so we will take turns, and I did presentations of this, the 7 mindfulness steps that Thai did with pictures of mindfulness that I found in the computer. And so I would present a little bit at a time, and then, or other people, whoever say, yes, I'll do it. And then we will meditate and then share. In 30 minutes, we used to pack a lot. It was very small group. Sometimes it was 2 of us, 3, 4. But it was it has been very nourishing. And then I invite to release it. I identify where I am. I am not in the same place. So it helps me to follow what I wrote here. And it's the same thing every time. It works for every time. I release, I practice the power of liberty, which makes me feel free, generate joy. I smile to the present moment. I have learned to direct loving kindness to myself, which I didn't do before. These are Thai's teachings. He is the one that has empowered me. I'm just reading them over and over and over. I live deeply each moment of my life. And that will bring joy, nourishment, and generate a lot of energy. They're not my words. It's Thai's. I just read them, and I repeat them over and over. The energy can touch the suffering and then touch the wonders of life. And that energy can heal and transform. Then I practice the habit of being calm, of being with peace, of relaxing. I go back to the present moment. Life can be found only in the present moment. So I just practice what he has been teaching. What I have added since I came to this retreat is when an experience from the past that is hurtful comes to my mind, I embrace it. Before, even from Guatemala, they will say something that had happened that, it had hurt us. The custom was to say, oh, don't think about it. Yeah, don't think about it. It's not worth it to think about it. But I have learned to embrace whatever comes to my mind, whatever hurts me. I embrace it. I think about it. I let it play, and then I say, okay, it's enough. Release it. It's enough. Release it. Let it go. And then I do my teaching. And that has helped me to heal, which is something I was never able to do before. And now I can see, I can invite to release those thoughts. To invite to release the internal thoughts and the physical thoughts. And have that happiness, that energy that forms from releasing that and then feeling the happiness. And then healing. And create that positive energy. So I'm thankful. Thank you a lot. Okay. And I come to the retreat here to be able to absorb and be mindful. I'm slow, I'm learning, I'm not fast. But at the same time, I am here knowing that I'm going to go back to the world out there, face the realities there. I have a Sangha that helps. And I am fully going back to an everyday life in the United States system of lifestyle, which in general it's not congruent with this. So I come here to learn to be able to cope and enjoy life out there or anywhere I go. 2019 was a weekend retreat. Then my second time is when Sister Chan Kong was coming. I'm going! The members of the church had plans, so they were not coming. Oh, we're going in July. I said, no, I'm going in May. I need to go when Sister Chan is there. So I drove by myself. Then this May, I came with 3 young people from the Sangha. It was wonderful to drive with 3 young people. They drove, the 7 hours felt like 1 hour. They were full of life. They are so mindful. That energy, they are my children's age, so I enjoy them. I wish my children will embrace this, but they're doing their own thing with their life. I am proud of my kids. They're really good children. I'm proud of them. But what I can do is I can be mindful. They're the age of my daughter. They're the same age. So that's why I like to be around young people that are the age of my children. That practice, the thing that I'm hoping that will, and I can send it to my children. This is my 4th retreat at Magnolia Grove Monastery because I want to deepen my practice to be able to live out with the community, with regular people. And I need to deepen my practice to be able to handle the realities of out in the world. Here in the monastery, it's a little bit easier to follow the practice because you don't have the influence of everything else that is going on. And so I am here to solidify the breathing in, the breathing out, the being mindful, the basics I am solidifying, I am focusing on the basics. So when I go back, I can apply them as soon as I feel that I'm out of sorts or I react as I often do in a human way to a situation, and I need to learn to handle that. And the way that I feel more comfortable long term is when I apply the practice of being mindful, the way Thich Nhat Hanh teaches us. And so I feel, in the long run, I feel at peace and have a better relationship, not just with my loved ones, but with other people. I've been enlightened. I've been enlightened. To be mindful, to breathe, to breathe.
Ta hạnh phúc liền giây phút này, lòng đã quên dứt hết âu lo, thong dong khi bước thanh thơi lúc làm, lòng thanh thản sống cho